Komm her. Dead. Okay.
Sir Knight, in 300 years, none have stood against us and lived. Step forward and claim what is yours by right. May your faith be true. I hope I can help.
Was mal denn?
You completed the quest that I could not. I'm glad that my death at least served to lead you here, as I had hoped.
That's for 9.
The original Order of the Nine was founded with the intention of safekeeping the Crusaders' relics.
Irgendwie fehlt der Filter so ein bisschen, oder?
We failed at this task. In death, we seek to preserve what little we accomplish while we wait for one to come and finish what we began.
Sir Beric.
One of the mightiest knights of my day. It was a great boost to the Order's prestige when he joined. Unfortunately, he and I did not see eye to eye on certain matters. He left the Order during the War of the Red Diamond and never returned. Goodbye.
I have defeated the ghostly guardians of the Cuirass of the Crusader. I can now claim it for my own. I've recovered the Cuirass of the Crusader. I should talk to the ghosts of the former Knights of the Nine to see if they can aid me in my quest for remaining relics. Words. Einmal haben wir das unenchanted. Ah, das war das Enchanted, okay. Das ist 8. Und Saviour's Hide ebenfalls 8. Aber ich repair das mal, weil das ist ein bisschen gedamaged. Schauen wir mal, wie viel das dann bringt. Die unwahrscheinlich, hier die Dings, die... Wie heißen sie? Hier, Sniper Gauntlets. Die Dinger gehen so schnell kaputt, das ist krass. Okay, es hat 9. Das hat eine Armor mehr. Plus Resist Magic 75% und Self Constant. Und der Cuirass hat Fortify Restoration, Resist Normal Weapons, Fortify Health. Ziemlich gut. Ziemlich viel Fortify Restoration auch. Sehe ich ein Muster. Ist aber auch ganz geil. Sieht auch vor allem cool aus. Das definitiv. Und Resist Normal Weapons 15% on Self ist ziemlich gut.
By the Nine, I've not seen such strength. Could you be... No, you cannot. You are simply a noble knight.
Es fehlt der Filter.
May the Nine guide your way.
Okay, hören wir uns mal durch.
I know where you may find the gauntlets of the Crusader, for I was the one who lost them.
Aha.
Though many know where they are still lost. I believe there is something you must do in order to retrieve them.
Also Fetch
You
Quest
listen
quasi.
to my tale and learn of the gauntlet's fate.
Lass hören.
When the Order fractured, I followed Sir Beric into war.
Das kommt alles zu
Taking
Sir
the
Beric
gauntlets
zusammen
with
quasi.
When it was over, I returned to Cyrodiil. I attempted to return to the service of the Nine, but the war had changed me. I no longer had sympathy for the weak or pity for the suffering. In the brief time I was there, I did more to hurt the chapel than help it. It was there that I was cursed.
Cursed? What do you mean?
A beggar who came to the chapel each day for help tried my patience one too many times.
Ah,
I
ja.
lost my temper and struck him. My blow landed harder than I had intended, and he fell to the floor dead, killed in the very chapel of the God of Mercy. I left the chapel at once, of course, but the damage was done. I was weak, constantly weary, and lacked the energy to do almost anything.
What about the gauntlets?
Ah, yes. As proof of the deed, when I struck the poor man, the gauntlets slipped right off my hands and fell to the floor. Heavy as stone, they would not move. None could lift them. I suspect they lie there still, in Coral's chapel.
Oh, okay.
You must prove to Stendar you are worthy to lift the gauntlets once more. Seek out the priests in Coral. Perhaps they can help you.
Also gibt es zu jedem... Ist es nicht nur eine Fetch-Quest, sondern es gibt zu jedem einzelnen Artifact gibt es ein Quest quasi dann. Also noch ein übergreifendes Quest. Curse.
Was placed on me for defying the teachings of Stendar in his very chapel. My entire lineage was ruined by this curse. Whether it is connected to the fate of the gauntlets, I do not know. Go with virtue.
Okay.
You have my tribute, Sir Knight. In
Oh, so-
300 years,
Altman?
none have passed the gauntlet. In 300 years, we have never known hope. But for the first time, it seems that someone may succeed where we have failed. I see in you the chance to redeem our souls and restore the Order. And now, I must ask you to press forward where I could not. I must ask you to face the challenge of Zenithar.
How did you fail?
I was arrogant and foolhardy. I sought personal glory. I placed my own will and my own lust for fame over the will of the Nine. In facing the challenge of Zenithar, I failed. I tried dozens, no, hundreds of times to reach the mace. I fell each time, and each time I awoke in the chapel, I leapt again. I tried to enlist the help of the other knights, but none would come to my aid. The inscription says to walk in the faith, but even now, I do not know what this means.
What must I do?
Below the chapel of Zenithar in Leowyn, there is a shrine to the great craftsman, Saint Calidus. Those seeking the mace must pray before the shrine. When you bow, you will receive a vision. Or perhaps not. It is unclear. The priest saw that my body never moved, but it felt so real. You will see the mace, separated from you by a great chasm. The chasm represents your doubt. Your faith must be your guide across it.
My faith will guide me.
This is what I know. As I said, my faith was weak. I did not understand the test, and I fell from the platform each time I tried to cross. I have
Nobody can
told
cross
you
it.
all that I know. All that is left is for you to prove yourself more worthy than I. If you seek the mace, travel to Leowyn's chapel, kneel at the shrine in the Undercroft, and let your faith in the Nine be the salvation of us all.
Mace.
Legends say that when Pelinal Whitestrake was slain by the Aelids, a messenger carried the mace to the human settlement of Leowyn as a message. Centuries later, the master craftsman Saint Calidus built the chapel of Zenithar in Leowyn as a tribute to the legend. When Saint Calidus was laid to rest, those who prayed to Zenithar at his tomb began to receive visions of the mace of the Crusader. Casimir left with the gauntlets.
Also ja, genau. Ups, das hatten wir. Okay.
Go with virtue.
Okay, wir haben dann also einmal... Das hat... Man merkt, dass es DLC ist. Das sieht einfach schon viel detaillierter und viel cooler aus. Irgendwie die Armor und Helmet. Das hat schon was. Genau, wir haben Path of the Righteous für die Gauntlets und Stendar's Mercy für... Ne, Gauntlets war hier, für Stendar. Und Path of Righteous war die Mace. Genau. Sir Henrik. Moment, sieht man das eventuell? Ne, er hat auch normal das Short Sword gehabt und kein Mace, naja.
If you are true to the teachings of Julianus, it may be possible for you to find the shield of the Crusader.
Shield. What do you mean? Oops, no.
When the Order crumbled, I set out on my own. After years of searching, I found the shield and brought it to Fort Bulwark for safekeeping. With the help of a few trusted friends, I began work to keep the shield safe for all eternity. I never saw my work finished. I died defending the fort from those who would take and misuse the shield. I never saw our work finished. I trust that the others carried on without me.
Shield.
The shield is safeguarded within Fort Bulwark. It is protected, and care must be taken when attempting to find it.
Okay.
It lies in the southeast of Cyrodiil, near the Black Marsh border. If all went according to plan, it should be very well guarded now. Believe in yourself, and use your knowledge wisely. You will pass through unharmed, and the shield will be yours.
Sneak.
Look to the southeast of Cyrodiil to find it. I cannot say for certain what is inside, but be prepared for anything.
Will do. Will do.
May the Nine guide your way.
Sir
I
Gregory.
am at your service, Commander.
Ah, dachte, das wäre ein Dunmer. Ah, er hat gar nichts, oder wie?
Matters of faith, one cannot be bogged down in the affairs of this world. Learn from us. Cast aside your treasures and serve the Nine.
Okay.
May the Nine guide your way.
So, Torolf.
I am at your
Ich
service.
würde sagen, ich sehe
Commander.
gar nichts, aber okay. Okay, hat auch nichts.
May your sword strike true.
I wish to see you succeed where I failed. I was on the path to
Ah.
the boots of the Crusader, but died before I reached them. Do you wish to learn what little I know?
Schieß los.
I cannot tell you exactly how to find the boots, for that will be up to Kinnereth. I can tell you to seek out her priests, though. West of the Imperial City, on the edge of the Great Forest, is a shrine. You will find them there, and they will tell you what you need to know.
Boots.
The boots are safeguarded by Kinnereth herself. You must be tested and prove yourself worthy to acquire them.
Okay. Kein Problem.
May the Nine guide your way.
How may I serve you, Commander?
Sir Caius Cosades, huh?
Alas, my old comrade is not among us here. We do not know why his spirit did not join us here to guard our last relic. We were estranged in life, but I had hoped that in death we could be reconciled. For my part, I now know that I am largely to blame for the ruin of the old order. Sir Amiel takes too much upon himself. I will say no more.
War ja fast Lucian Chance hier. Mein Gott.
May the Nine guide your
Okay.
way. How may I serve?
Okay, das war eigentlich alles.
May your sword strike.
I've spoken with the ghosts of the Knights of the Nine and learned where several parts of the armor of the Crusader are hidden. I should return when I have collected them all. Gotta collect them all. A goodie. Ups. Giggity giggity goodie. Dann machen wir natürlich genau... Es sieht cool aus. Dann machen wir natürlich genau das. Die Frage ist, was machen wir zuerst? Machen wir zuerst... Aber werden die uns alle angezeigt auf der Karte? Ich glaube nicht, ne? Ne. Gut, ja. Boots, Shield. Boots klingt von der Quest her am interessantesten irgendwie. Mace. Gauntlets. Definitiv Gauntlets. Aber dann fehlen doch noch Greaves, oder nicht? Normal ja. Aber Gauntlets wäre vielleicht gar nicht so schlecht. Ich meine, klar, das ist ein geiles Enchantment, was wir auf den Sniper-Gauntlets haben. Aber das Problem ist halt, dass die echt nach zweimal draufhauen, sind die Dinger halt schon kaputt. Vor der Maximum 7 Points, ja. Haben wir gesprochen, wenn die halt nach jedem dritten Schlag kaputt gehen, macht das halt nicht wirklich Sinn, die weiterhin zu behalten. Also gut, schauen wir mal vorbei. Fuck. Ich glaube übrigens, der Grund, warum wir so negativ angeschaut werden, unter anderem von den Leuten, ist der, dass wir ziemlich viel Infamy vorher hatten. Durch das Ganze, was wir jetzt gemacht haben, die Pilgrimage, ist unsere Fame-Infamy wieder auf 0. Und es ist gut, dass wir Thieves und Dark Brotherhood so schnell gemacht haben, denn dadurch droppt uns euer Fame bzw. Infamy-Level unglaublich. Also er ist eher der Infamy-Level logischerweise. So faith, your afflictions are banished. Ja, schön. Make a pilgrimage to the way shrine of Stendar and henceforth receive a blessing at Stendar's holy altars. Ah, hier haben wir die Gauntlets. Are too heavy to move. Haben wir es doch. 11 Uhr. Vorher war es irgendwie um 0 Uhr.
What brings you here, my son?
Jetzt sind noch ein paar Leute hier. Gauntlets of the Crusader.
Ah, yes. The gauntlets have been here for ages. I know only the basic story behind them. They're more of a novelty these days. My only real involvement with them these days is keeping the youngsters from hurting themselves trying to pick the gauntlets up. What is your interest in them, if I may ask?
I need them. I've come to retrieve them. I'd like to know their story.
Yes, well, I don't know the whole thing. A great many years ago, a knight of the old order did something terrible, and the gauntlets just fell off. They dropped to the floor right where he stood, and no one could lift them. It was a sign of the curse placed upon this knight by Stendar, I think. That curse still lingers on today, in fact. Poor Kellen.
Who's Kellen?
Oh, why, he's a descendant of that very knight from so long ago. The curse has affected his family all these years. He suffers from it now. He came here from Hammerfell seeking a cure, but, well, there's really nothing that can be done for him, I think. He may know more of the story than I. Perhaps you should speak with him, if he's feeling well enough.
Natürlich. Kellen.
He's down in the chapel hall, resting. You may speak to him if you like.
Alright.
Take care.
Ich danke. So, dann schauen wir mal. Bailey und Kisune. Gut.
Morning.
Er wird's nicht sein, genau. Chapel Hall, jawohl. Dann schauen wir uns den Kollegen mal an. So schlimm kann es ja eigentlich gar nicht sein. Ja, wahrscheinlich, ja.
Anytime, friend, I'm right here. What is it? Is there a cure? Has Arelder found a cure? I know there's something he's not telling me.
Ich glaube, ich sehe, was für ein Fluch das ist.
Ah, so you've heard it, have you? Terrible curse. But in the family almost
Was denn
longer
genau?
than anyone can remember. When I was younger, I could live with it. Wasn't so bad.
Was denn?
But it's only gotten worse over time.
Haarausfall?
I'd come here, to the place it all happened, in the hopes that something could be done. I fear I haven't much time left otherwise.
Ich habe ein bisschen Arel-Dur-Dingsmus nochmal
Arelder
fragen.
has let me
Genau.
stay, mostly out of pity, I think. But there's something else. I swear he knows more than he tells. Seen plenty of pity in people's eyes over the years. I grew up recognizing it. But with Arelder, there's something else there. And when he speaks to me, there are times I'd swear he sounds apologetic. Guilty even. Why would that be? What reason does he have to hold back information? I know I'm a doomed man one way or the other. Speak to him if you can. Convince him to tell me what he knows as a dying man's last wish.
Wir müssen ja nochmal wegen dem Curse fragen allerdings.
Be seeing you.